Hi, everybody. Today we are talking about it's your fault if I feel this way. External blame, right? I'm Robin and this is Sonia, and we are Bolly moms on the go.
Yes. So we're talking about blaming on our kids if we feel over-exhausted, tired, or whatever negative feelings.
Yeah.
It's your fault if you're not cleaning up. I feel like so tired, exhausted, angry, upset, frustrated.
Yeah.
It's your fault if you're not doing that, and then I'm feeling so upset. It's your fault.
Yeah.
And then,
when really they are just like the little pin on the top of the mountain of frustration that you're feeling. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so a good thing that I do, part of my coaching, is the nonviolent communication about feeling your needs and your requests. So it's always starting when there is a situation where you got triggered, obviously, because the child is, I don't know, let's have an example. The other child is not cleaning up the bedroom,
right? And
you ask for 10 times, maybe 20 times,
maybe 30
and
times.
It's like 30 times, and you're like, you never listen to me. And then after I told you already 20 times, you never listen to me. It's your fault if I'm feeling so angry right now.
Right.
These kind of things. So this kind of discussion is not helpful for both parties, neither the mom or neither the child, because the child feel like, oh, it's my fault, or my mom is really upset because of me.
Right.
And it's not a good projection. So
yeah, and sometimes all the time.
Yes.
Right. They're like, my mom's always mad at me.
Yes.
You know, like that
yes.
sort of thing. Yeah. Yeah.
So the principle of nonviolent communication is like, start with yourself. Okay, so you're feeling, I feel, how do you feel? I feel upset, angry, frustrated, whatever. Okay, that's recognizing that's your own feeling.
Yes.
It's nothing to do with how your children is feeling, how your child is feeling right now.
Or anybody else.
Yes. And it's like, what do you really, really need? Okay, so acknowledge what you really need. Okay, I need the room to be clean because then it's going to be better for me to go in and then put the clothes inside, or like, why is it so important for you to have something done?
Right.
Whether it's done by your child or someone else, like.
Right.
Because
so how you feel, what you need.
What you need. And then from that, make a request. Okay, so I would really appreciate if you could clean up your bedroom, so then I could put the pile and I don't feel like I'm going to like hover over everything and then just fall in your bedroom because it's so messy, or it's disgusting when I feel like I don't want to enter your bedroom. But share why it's so important for you to have this situation resolved.
Right, right.
And then at that time, it's opening up to a better communication with your child, because maybe your child was like, oh, but I like my bedroom to be this way, or can you help me? Or like it's opening up more to a better type of communication than just like fighting each other. No, I don't want to do it. Or like having the child like mirror what he's feeling.
Yes.
That's the part.
Yes. And I think too that we often forget, and one thing that I'm reminding parents, my husband, myself, about is that, you know, the way that we think as an adult should not be reflected upon our children, because they are children.
Yes.
So the way an 8-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 13-year-old, a 16-year-old, the way that they think has very little to do with the way that we think. And what is important to us is very rarely important to them.
They don't understand it the same way.
They don't understand it the same way. And they don't care if their room is clean. And I remember myself as a kid, I loved my room being messy. And part of that, we've talked about this before, is that our kids are trying to become adults. That's their job. That's their whole job, is to work toward becoming an adult. And when they're doing that, independence is a huge hurdle that they have to try to get across, because as children, they have very little.
Yes.
So they find little things to dig their heels in about. That's what drives us crazy, because to us, it's like, why are you digging your heels in about this? But the reason they're doing that is because that's just something they can control.
Mm-hmm.
And so if, like eating, they don't eat well, that's something that they can try to control. Or their room being messy is something they can try to control. So they're just trying to control that situation. So if we can recognize their why as well as our need, right? Their need and our need, then I think that we will have a little bit more progress. And I know some of you are laughing at what we're saying, like, it's not that easy. We know.
Oh, no.
No, we know.
It took me years of practice, and I'm still practicing it, because there's still sometimes when I feel like, I have to step back. It's
Yeah.
still like sometimes it's like it's pulling you out of your body. It's
For
like,
sure. Because emotions
And
are
they're-
so powerful.
you get triggered. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not perfect at managing my emotion,
Yeah.
but I'm getting better, and I'm getting better and better. So that's what I wish for you to
Practice.
be in a path.
Practice.
Yeah, be in a
Yeah.
path for like improving yourself.
Yeah.
And then even if like the first year is like challenging, maybe the second year you're gonna have a feel of like
do you hear that, you
better.
guys? She's saying years, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're not talking about this is going to be fixed tomorrow.
No.
It's going to take time. It's going to take practice. And some days you're going to be super successful.
Yes.
And other days you're going to lose your mind. And some of that has to do with external stuff too. If you had a bad day at work, da, 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 da.
Oh, yeah.
And this is what we do with our spouse. And this is what we do with our closest friends and our family, like our sisters and our brothers and our moms and our dads, because they are safe people.
Yes.
So if we're having a bad day at work, we have to behave professionally. We have to maintain our cool. Then we come home, and then there's like almost this like allowance of losing it, because you just
Really?
there's almost this allowance of losing it because like they're safe. So I know that Sonia, my really good friend, if I have a bad moment with her, that she will still be my really good friend. And so there's some safety there. And then with a spouse or with your kids, it's even more. And so sometimes we are just taking our day out on them. And that's not fair.
And sometimes without realizing that.
Yeah.
That's where there is progress. So So sometimes when you got triggered, so I always like to see like this, imagine, I don't know if you were good in chemistry at school. So remember when you have these pots with some liquids, reactive liquids in chemistry.
Okay.
And then it's like it's full. Like you just have to put one ingredient and it's going to blow up. So imagine that you're holding it and you're waiting for the, so it's already like very reactive, but just missing one ingredient to make it explode.
Right.
And so it's the same. So imagine that you had a stressful day at work because you were blamed of blah, 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 not doing that or not on time or something. And you come home and you got triggered because, I don't know, the ready is not done and the kids are like all around and you're like, that's too much.
They didn't shovel the walk.
Yeah. So you're just adding this one little drop, like without it, like in a normal empty glass, 1 little drop of that will not make it explode. Yeah. But because you're holding something like already really reactive,
really volatile,
it's just making the explosion like,
And now you're in a safe place to do that. Yeah. As well.
Yes.
Right.
True.
So you add that ingredient too.
So the not easy things to realize is that the trigger situation is not really the situation about home and the cooking and whatever the kids are supposed to do, they didn't do. But it's like you have to like look back and say, oh, that was at work and I still feel very reactive, very like emotional about that. Yeah. And you have to solve that in order to be able to talk better with
anybody,
your family, kids, or members.
Remember that kids are reactive by nature. So if they are reactive and you are reactive, you will have a reaction. Yeah,
they mirror where they feel. Sometimes they don't really know what's happening, but they can see something, and that's why sometimes they will bark at you back. It's like, where does it come from? Yeah, because they feel something.
Well, and their subconscious city, like that movie. What's that movie I always talk about? Inside Out. Yeah. If you guys haven't, that's the cutest movie ever.
I like this movie.
But that's what I think of their subconscious city, right? So their subconscious city is very earthquakey. It's very moving. It isn't solidified yet. There's no foundation. And then ours has a strong foundation, but some of that foundation still comes from reactiveness because of the filters and the belief systems and all of these things that we've created. So we, being the person who has the more solidity, have to be the one to ground ourselves, take a breath, and remember that your subconscious mind to your conscious mind needs 6 full seconds. 6 seconds, you guys. Let me count that for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know how long that is? That's a long time in that moment. But if you take that 6 seconds, then you can come up into your high awareness, into your conscious mind, and make a decision about your reaction versus reaction.
Yes, totally.
Pretty cool.
Oh yes, it's very important.
Yeah.
So I have 3 body mind insight about it.
Okay.
The first one is, if you feel bad about a situation regarding something with your children, look inside first. What's
Count to
happening?
6.
So count to 6, deep breath. And then it's like, okay, realize how you feel. Feel upset, frustrated. That's really like inside you. You don't feel judged because it's external, but you feel like inside your own emotion.
Yeah. And sometimes I'm just going to add quickly, the count to 6 thing, but the other thing that you can do is turn around. Like literally stand in your spot, turn around.
I've never done this one.
And sit back down. Have your children do this too. When my children are upset, or if they say something to me that is inappropriate or nasty, you know what I mean? Like when they talk back, I make them stop, turn a full circle, and start over. It's very helpful. Try that one. Number 2, what is your need?
Yeah.
Why does the room have to be clean? Why does the dishes have to be done? We're not saying that it doesn't. It probably does. But what is about that in that moment that has you feeling a need for that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe you just need some control over something because of your day.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but figure it out.
But realize that. So then it's going to bring more awareness, and then maybe it's going to be like, oh, that's not really important. But what's important is that.
See,
or maybe it is important.
This is all coming back to awareness again and again.
Yes.
Okay, number 3.
And the third one is your words become your child's inner voice.
Oh, that's so powerful. So your words become your child's inner voice. Like, I feel like we should just say that over and over and over again to ourselves as mothers.
Yes.
That everything we say to our kids becomes their inner voice. So think about your own inner voice and the days that it's not being that good to you.
Yes.
Where did that come from? Right? It's pretty powerful. It's so powerful.
It is. It is. So you're projecting something and then know that the child is absorbing it, whatever. Good or bad.
Good or bad. That's right.
So you prefer him or her to absorb something like better. So then,
yeah.
So it takes time. It takes time. And we know that it takes time and practice, but we're here to help.
Yeah.
And we are helping each other too.
And tell us about a day that it was like super successful.
Yes.
But also tell us about the days that it did not work.
Yes.
Share.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.